Good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. Today is Saturday. We'll do college basketball. It'll be Kansas and Texas Tech. Number 10 players to watch out for: Hunter Dickerson, KJ Adams, Zeke Mayo, Dajuan Harris. Those are for the Jayhawks. And Riley Griffin. Could be a surprise to get on a. Riley Griffin can get better and get this team to a streak of winning. Right now they've won 2 in a row, but I'm talking about a 5-game winning streak. JT Toplin is the leader for Texas Tech. Red Raiders, player to watch out for: tip is at 1 from Allen Fieldhouse. Vanderbilt will host Missouri. Tigers, Vanderbilt, according to ESPN bracketology, is the number 8 seed. Mizzou is a number 5 seed. Vanderbilt beat Texas A&M earlier this week. Players to watch out for: Vanderbilt, Jason Edwards, Tyler Nickel, who leads them in points. For Mizzou, it's Caleb Grill, who leads the Tigers in points. Mark Mitchell and Tamar Bates, Anthony Robinson. Continues to prove, does Robinson. When Grill's shooting those threes, watch out. Tip is at 5 from Vanderbilt. The Missouri Tigers have a decision to make, but appear to be practicing patience. While they may make it Burns trends toward availability, Missouri needs to figure out what the benefits of him playing, who has been out for the entire season. The freshman, would they redshirt him? That would be an option. If Missouri wins out the regular season, starting with a game Saturday against Vanderbilt in Nashville, it will earn a double bye in Saturday by sight of the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. Mizzou is in contention for the top 4 seeds in the NCAAA tournament. The big picture here is that Trent Burns is a heck of a basketball player. Trent Burns makes our team better, Gates said. He gives us a vertical threat at the rim, something Josh Gray doesn't really provide. That's my opinion, i.e., completely different basketball player than Peyton Marshall or Josh Gray that mentioned. But again, the timeline of it is all what benefits the young man. And that's what I'm going to keep in the forefront of the decision. But he is practicing. He is cleared to do a lot more things than he previously was. So I'm just going to continue monitoring it and see what the best mental emotion as a physical standout point and communicate with his parents. If he's got a chance to go to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or something the Tigers have never done before, which is go to the Final Four, I am in favor of him playing. But if he can only make it to the second round, and they probably can't make that decision, but if they can only make it to the second round and he plays, I believe that would be a failure. Kansas City now moving on to Joni Boom. Watch out for Auburn, and Oge Owiya is a player to watch out for Kentucky. Kentucky to host Auburn on the road. Auburn favored by 4.5. Number 6, Alabama will host number 5, Tennessee. That game tips at 3.5 is a line. Players to watch out for: Mark Sears and Chaz Leaner. And Texas A&M will play Florida. Another 12 versus 3. 7:30. Florida favored by 9.5 at home. Players to watch out for: Ray Taylor and Walter Clayton. And Arizona will play Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 5.5. Caleb Love and Curtis Jones are players to watch out for. Love for Arizona and Curtis Jones for Iowa State. That game tips at 8 from Iowa State. And the Mizzou and KU, we didn't go over their favorites. Missouri is favored by 2.5 over Vanderbilt. And KU is favored by 4.5 against Tennessee, Texas Tech, number 10. That's basketball. Kansas City, Missouri, and their request to keep the stadium. The Board of War attracts Kansas City's two major sports franchises and is taking minor of the image of sorts. Missouri lawmakers are excited to proposal and design provide incentives for major teams to build a stadium in the show me state. The money behind the Missouri proposal looks like a lot of approach to Kansas's, using to perhaps attract the Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals franchise. There's a BIP 10 support for the Missouri Senate Bill of 2028-22, the Missouri Entertainment Facility Capital Assistance Program. It seems from a meeting in Jackson County last week, and it has several answers to the aggressive approach to the Kansas legislation using star bonds. The approach of the employees' monies from star bonds is to lure the National Football League and Major League Baseball franchise over the state line. Missouri State Senate Barbara Washington, sponsor of the legislation, which foresees equal of 33 funding stadiums coming in the state public sources, city budgets, and county budgets. Missouri State Republican Mike Sharp, co-sponsor of the bill, he said funding will come from the state treasury using funds appropriated from the General Assembly direction through the Treasury. This bill filed Thursday. It will second read today. It seems to me the bill has some ability to attention at the state as it should, and we can get these bills referred to, Republican Sharp said on Friday. Mark Sharp. I did not get to that. Jackson County 6th District Legislator Sean Smith has encouraged this plan. Smith knows the Royals would prefer not to go back to the voters after losing its proposal in April. Smith also likes a protection of this would provide Missouri businesses and operators. When we see our border states trying to businesses and it's our best interest to know and where to kick butt. If you try to steal the corporations, we're going to kick butt. We're going to offer them a better to keep them here, said Smith said. That being in Missouri. Kansas lawmakers know the response would come from Kansas State lawmakers. Sean Tardois isn't involved in the negotiation, but he seems similar between Missouri's plan and star bonds. If you're looking for the three bond stadium, $4 billion for a stadium, you're going to have to take a vote and locally, and that's going to take some time. Also, bill doesn't go into effect until August of 2025, and we may have everything wrapped up by then, Tarwater said. Smith said from proposal also provides some of the protection against higher property taxpayers for the taxpayers in Missouri. Legislators have until May 17th to pass the bill. While likely Kansas proposal at the new legislation allows Missouri to financially assist from the stadium projects through taxes an increment in financing and other mechanism, for example, funding, could come from state sales and improved tax revenue guaranteed from the stadium projects. Let's hear more from the videos. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.
The border war to attract Kansas City's two major sports teams took a new turn late yesterday. As we first reported, a Missouri Senate bill setting the framework for state-supported stadium projects was introduced.
And the money behind the Missouri proposal looks a lot like the approach Kansas is using to try to attract the Royals and Chiefs. Fox 4's Sean McDowell breaks down this comparison of stadium-seeking legislators.
There is bipartisan support for Missouri Senate Bill 822. That's the Missouri Entertainment Facility Capital Assistance Program. It stems from a meeting last week at the Capitol in Jefferson City, and it serves as an answer to the aggressive approach Kansas legislators are making, employing money from star bonds to lure the Chiefs and Royals to the Sunflower State. Missouri State Senator Barbara Washington sponsors this legislation, which foresees an equal 33% of funding for stadiums coming from the state level, public sources, and from city and county budgets too. State Representative Mark Sharp co-sponsored this bill. He says funding will come from the state treasury using funds appropriated from the General Assembly directed through the treasury.
This bill was filed on Thursday. It was second read today. So it seems to me that this bill has somebody's attention at the state, as it should, and hopefully we can get this bill referred or these bills referred in the coming weeks.
Jackson County legislator Sean Smith is encouraged by this plan. He knows the Royals would prefer not to go back to the voters after losing at the polls last April. Smith also likes the protection this would provide the business community.
When we see our border states trying to take our businesses, it is in our best interest to say no, and we're going to kick your butt. Right? If you try to steal our things, like our corporations, we're going to kick your butt. We're going to offer something better to keep them here.
Kansas legislators knew a response from Missouri would come. State Representative Sean Tarwater isn't involved in the negotiations, but he sees similarities between this Missouri plan and the star bonds Kansas will utilize.
If you're looking at a $3 billion stadium or $4 billion stadium, you're going to have to take a vote locally, and that's going to take some time. This bill also, for some reason, doesn't go into effect until August 2025, and we may very well have everything wrapped up by then.
Smith also says he likes that this provides some protection for taxpayers in Missouri against seeing undue hikes in property taxes. Legislators in Missouri have until May 17th to get this bill passed. Sean McDowell, Fox 4 working for you.